soon as it hit the water. Thunder cricket. I mean, that one was on it the second it hit the water. Old LakeX special, tattoo special right there. Come on, there we go. Good way to get started with old Thunder cricket. Hey, Tackle Warehouse Pro Mark Menendez here. Gonna be dealing with the Thunder cricket and maybe a jerkbait here, playing the wind, trying to play the wind. Wind is your friend. We're gonna teach you how to do that with these two power baits. I've got a Thunder cricket here with a Raid Shad on it, and there's our first victim right there. A nice chunk. We'll get another one on the next cast, let's see. It's been a very high and blue day and high pressure, and these fish are wanting to feed. Water temperatures are still warm enough, 63 degrees, but they've been real lethargic. And I'm having to use every advantage I can, and wind is one that I'm using right now, in that the wind will always position the fish with his head into the wind so that whatever current the wind is pushing around, water movement, makes that fish comfortable that he's going to be getting a chance at a meal. And then I'm going to fish any little corner or any piece of cover so that that fish will have an advantage. Caught this fish on the inside of this little cut, but he was set up right here on this point into the wind, waiting for something to come by. So we're going to try to use any advantage we can to get a bite on a tough day of fishing. There he is. Is right on the lip of it. It's got a good head shake growing right here, guys. Yeah, that's a good fish. Oh, he's upset. Oh, that's a good one too. Come here. Got him. Cricket. Jimmy the cricket. No, that's the Thunder cricket. See how white he is? He just came up out of that deep water. That's the third fish in the mouth of one of these drains. These fish are coming up to feed as the light's getting a little bit lower, and they can stand it a little better. On days that it's high and blue like this, you've got to have some help. You've got to either have a little wind, you've got to have some current to position these fish. The wind's been blowing all day, and as we get to the mouths of each one of these little cuts, it's the perfect ambush point. Fish are pulling up out of the deep water where they've been all day, and now they're pulling up here to feed, and they're very susceptible to being caught on these little ambush points, the corners and the middle of the drain as it goes off into the deep water. So that's what's so cool about days in which you don't have a clue, days in which nothing is going as you expect. Just go get in the wind. Let the wind be your friend and be the equalizer so that you'll get around an active fish. That's a competitive tactic that we all use on tour, is just get in the wind when you don't have a clue and then try to develop your pattern from there. Shallow. There we go. Little old guy. Now here's one of the advantages to the bait that I think is so critical. There's a little old bass, but look how deep he's hooked, and look at the length of the shaft of the hook, that whole length. So this hook extends way back, reaches back and get him. So when a big fish bites this and collapses the bait, a lot of times you'll take a hook set and it opens the blade back up and blows that fish's mouth open. With the Thunder cricket, that hook is so far back there in the back that very, very seldom happens. You know, the bait itself, the Thunder cricket itself, is very versatile. I've been on just a slow retrieve, a slow wind, but you can hop it, you can let it go down, let it fall, and literally pump it in deep water. Fantastic ledge bait out there, 5/8 is, out there in 15 to 20, 25 feet of water. You can also change your skirt. Make it naked, take the skirt off, put a swim bait on it, put a caffeine shad on it out there on a ledge situation where that looks very much like a gizzard shad out there deep. So it is a very versatile bait, even though it's not like a spinnerbait where you have an arm above it and it's weedless. This bait is fairly weedless for what it is, having this open hook. The blade turns left to right, that hook stays in the upright point and comes over cover fairly well to be such an open hooked lure. As soon as it hit the water. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to put the reel in gear. Get up here, come on. That's a good one. Look at how white he is, just getting up here as it's starting to get dark. But again, this is the big key about the Thunder Cricket, where I really like this bait. Look how far back the hook is in this fish's head. I'm gonna pull my trailer off of here, pull the drawers down on this thing, show you what this means as far as a bladed jig goes. Let's go ahead and let this fish go. Oh, he's mad. Look at the length of this hook shank. It's way back here. So if you have a big fish that comes and eats this bait, a lot of bladed jigs, when I set the hook, blow the fish's mouth open with the blade. It blows it open and you miss a lot of fish with it. Well, we've remedied a lot of those strikes by having this long shanked 6/0 hook in here so that when the fish comes up and clamps down on it, the blade is further forward and I'm getting a good clean hookup with this bladed jig, with this Thunder Cricket, where I don't lose near as many fish. Big key to the bladed jig. I really like this Rage Swimmer on here, this moderate sized Rage Swimmer, but one of the other trailers that is one of my absolute favorites, particularly when I'm around bluegill, I put a Strike King Game Hog on the back of this. Many different colors, either green pumpkin, black with blue flake, something that's real natural, and it makes a huge difference with all those legs of that Game Hog. When I'm around bluegill, that's the one I go to for the Thunder Cricket. I'm really fond of this 7'3" football jig rod, Lew's Custom Speed Stick football jig rod. One reason is because it's my utilitarian rod. I throw a spinnerbait on this, I throw a buzzbait on this, I can drag something with it, I can swim bait fish with it, but it's kind of a lazy old rod that will load up when these fish get a bladed jig. Most of the time they just come up from behind it and roll on it. So it's got that good tip for accuracy, plenty of backbone to move the fish out of the cover if you needed to. So it's my favorite rod for multiple things, but it really suits me well with the Thunder Cricket. 17 to 20 pound Seaguar InvisX. If I need to get it down a little bit, I drop to the 17. If I'm in shallow water, I need to keep the bait up in the water column, 20, which provides great abrasion resistance and strength when dealing with big fish, which you catch a lot of big fish on this bladed jig. And then the reel's a Team Lew's Lite in a 6.8 to 1 gear ratio. If I want to fish it a little faster, that 6.8, I can, but I want to keep this bait down. It's kind of like what I call highlighting a spinnerbait, where you can just barely see the blades of that spinnerbait, slow rolling it down below the surface of the water. That's about the same way I like to fish a bladed jig, is just out of sight, where I'm not able to see the flash of the blade or the bait. There's one. Cutting it up like a good one. He's just a Thunder Cricket eater. Just a Thunder Cricket eater. Come on, big guy. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Up here. Another nice one on the Thunder Cricket. Look how fat that little fella is. Hey, if you like this week's video, like, share, and tag a friend, and we'll see you next week. Same place, same station.